Oh, that's a steep section of hill. Did we just... Are we really... Holy cow. Look at the power on that. It's still going, too. Come on, buddy. Look at that. Unreal. So much power. What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today in Scrap Mechanic, and this is a project that I had worked on in many parts, and originally it started with a radial engine and piston engine video, and then more recently I had worked on a piston-powered unicycle, and before that I had a big in-hub radial engine that was on a big wheel project. And I really wanted to revisit the radial engine after that big wheel project, because I realized I can definitely make a radial engine that exhibits a lot more torque than the one in the big wheel with 8 pistons. But instead of using 8 pistons in a 4 pattern where each one's 90 degrees apart, I wanted to look at making a radial engine where the pistons were 45 degrees apart. But before we get into that, I just want to show you guys, in case you don't know what a radial engine is, this is the first one I made. Really, quite simply, the pistons are all arranged in a circle around the outside, and this plus here, you can see this, well, let's just paint it white here so it's a little more visible. But this plus would move around in a circle like this. And you can see it's a little bit jerky. Now, I do have to apologize because in my radial engine videos, this is how I showed it. And I realized through a bit of my testing more recently that this is actually jerky not because of, you know, the way I designed it. The way I designed it is actually correct. It's because of the sensor detection system that I'm using. And I can actually fix this quite easily. So if we take this engine and we put it with all high-speed pistons, normally we wouldn't do this. We'd keep the speeds relatively low, and we couldn't actually have this engine very quick because you see how ridiculous that gets. But believe it or not, that's all because I designed this sensor pad like garbage, and if we actually just extend that by 2 blocks and only leave 1 sensor exposed, you get a radial engine that moves really fast. And like it actually, like this works. It's just bouncy because well, it's got a very light frame, but you can see, hold on, if we can, right, so there we go. So we can mount that, right? And that's a high torque engine now. This is really the improvement. So I'm going to update this creation on the workshop. I do have this on the workshop. I'll post the link in the description. But I am going to update it because when I originally made this radial engine, and maybe one of you guys said it in the comments and I just missed it or something like that, but this sensor was completely wrong set up. So now you can see we can actually put this at max speed and it goes really quick. And it'll just keep cycling there forever. So anyways, this is a 4-cylinder radial engine, and I thought, you know, that's pretty powerful. Piston engines generally are more powerful than a non-piston engine. But I thought, you know, what if we make one that's got 8 pistons? And I call this engine the Demon, because it's just ridiculous. I painted it black and red, and the main reason I call it the Demon is because there's a piece of suspension in the middle there that goes through it, and because there's all these different pistons at constant pressures on the system when it's in the static off position, it causes the suspension to actually create a suspension glitch effect, and the engine will move if you don't give it a lot of weight. So you can see there, it's got a lot of weight and it still wants to move. As soon as you turn it on, that'll go away. But this is possibly the fastest piston engine I've ever made. This engine uses every piston I have completely offset at 45 degrees. So we've got 1 plus here attached through a 45-degree controller bearing to another plus here, both on the same drive shaft or crankshaft, whatever you want to call it, which are all powered by these 8 pistons. And you can see 4 of them are on a 45-degree offset and 4 of them are in a plus. So this thing, when you turn it on, is ridiculous. And it's powerful. It's 8 pistons worth of power, and it's got so much speed to it. It's absolutely insane. You can see there, this thing generates ridiculous torque. So I don't know if I really want to upload this to the workshop. It still needs a little bit of work in the sense that you need it on a big creation, but I think I might upload it just for giggles with this big sort of attachment to it. But when it's running, it's fine. It causes a lot of movement just because it's jerking around. But as soon as you stop it, then depending on the position of these pistons, you get a suspension glitch there, and it does move the whole thing. So we're just going to weld it back up here. So I decided to go through some really basic testing, and to do that, I built myself a massive car. So I did use modded wheels just to get the large, super large wheels, mainly because these engines are rather large, and I didn't want to have to worry about ground clearance so much. So I did spawn in the modded wheels from the mod pack. but I didn't actually use anything else. So it is a straight vanilla car. At the back here on every one of these cars, it has just a forward gear. I didn't put a reverse. Originally, I had a forward reverse gear shifter, but the engine is too powerful. It literally shredded the gears. So I had pistons that would move in between gears, and those pistons would actually just get pushed against the force of the engine. It wasn't strong enough to resist. So it's just a straight gear, and it actually goes from a 1-to-2 ratio. So you can see we got 4 teeth going to 8 teeth, and that works pretty well. So this one we've got the Demon engine hooked up to, and over here, this one we've got the regular 4-cylinder radial engine hooked up to, and this one here has a 4-cylinder engine in it, but actually we've hooked it up just to an electric motor on max speed. So I wanted to give you guys just the electric motor show just first, just so you guys can really see how heavy this vehicle is. I've added a lot of weight to it. It's a very heavy vehicle, mainly to keep the suspension glitch at bay from the Demon engine when it's sitting in idle. And so if we try and drive this forward, this is an electric motor at full power, guys. Like, it's so slow. It's so incredibly slow, and you can see we can start to pick up speed a little bit here. But let's you know, if we go to these rocks, I only have double steering on the front, so the steering is a little bit floppy. But you see, we can't even go over these rocks. Like, it's got nothing, right? So we can go, and you see that's full power. And then as soon as we drop it, like even if we drop it at speed, it can't turn, it can't really go up hills. I mean, this is the electric engine, and I wanted to hook it up through the drive axle and not on either wheels because I wanted to give it the same gearing. I mean, with the 1-to-2 ratio, it should be more powerful, but you know, it's pretty gutless, so it's not a very good vehicle. So then I decided to look at the 4-cylinder radial engine, and we're gonna directly we'll test this engine up against the Demon directly a little bit later and see which one's actually more powerful. But I personally think the 8 is more powerful. Obviously, with 8 pistons, it should be more powerful. But mainly because I think with the 45-degree angles, it just has that much closer of a reaction time. But this is the Piston engine, 4 cylinders, and it actually, you can see right away, it just has the torque. Like, it can power the car, and it'll get moving a little bit quicker. But already, we're completely destroying the electric engine just with those 4, and we'll be able to drive, you know, up these hills, no problem. And again, those floppy front wheels, it's, you know, just double bearing, nothing too special. But, like, you can see right up the hill, and yeah, it'll slow down a bit, but the Piston engine, oh no, it can't make it up this hill. Would you look at that? I didn't realize you can't make it up this hill with the, Okay, well, apparently the 4-cylinder engine is not as powerful as I thought it would be. I thought I made it up that hill when I was testing it. Maybe I didn't. Alright, well, let's just go right at these rocks. I mean, we should be able to power over these rocks, I think. Definitely more easily than the electric engine did. I mean, you can tell right off the bat, piston engines dominate the electric engines for sure. We're bottoming out here. This is good. But definitely beating out the electric for sure. Again, these engines not meant for speed, but for torque, I mean, nothing really compares to the torque you generate in these piston engines. This one is obviously attached with the 8-cylinder monster Demon engine. And right off the bat, like, I mean, the car pretty much wants to jump. Like, it's insane how much power this stinking engine has. And again, I think it's just because of that 45-degree angle. So all these cars are the exact same weight, but, you know, this one just has 8 pistons, and each piston is 45-degree offset, and they fire in the proper sequence so that you always have 45 degrees, and it's basically 3 or 4 pistons firing at once. But, I mean, like, you know, just driving over any obstacles, this thing's amazing. All right, let's go. You know what? There's the jump. Let's go take the jump. And see how much speed this thing will pick up. Well, first of all, let's see if we can make it up the hill. I think we should be able to. Again, we don't have a reverse gear, so it's just forward. You'd have to put in... I need to figure out how to make a reinforced gearbox. I mean, maybe I need multiple pistons to change gears, even to go between forward and reverse, but, you know, obviously this thing's just dominating with that engine. So, I mean, I've made other piston engines before, but obviously the 4-cylinder engine still not powerful enough. I don't think it'd be able to climb up this, seeing as how it couldn't even climb up that other hill. This thing hasn't even... Oh no. I spoke too soon. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Because it's only rear-wheel drive, sometimes it likes to slide a bit. It doesn't really like to turn properly. Plus, these wheels on the front are very, very stable, as you can see. All right, let's just see if we can turn into this here. Oh, that's a steep section of hill. Did we just... Are we really... Holy cow, look at the power on that. It's still going, too. Come on, buddy. Look at that. Unreal. So much power. I tried to make the engine nice and compact too, but I really like it. It's honestly my favorite engine I think I've made so far. And I know someone could probably come along and, you know, glitch weld it or something and make it really compact. But alright, let's pick up some speed here. You know, there's a few things I really like in Scrap Mechanic, and one of them obviously is logic, and the other one is piston-powered creations. Piston-powered engines, piston-powered trains. There's just something so mechanically, you know, beautiful about a creation that, you know, doesn't just drive with a bearing. You know what I mean? Like, there's bearings obviously involved, but it's being driven by linear motion, and we're using principles of mechanics to convert linear motion back into rotational motion. And it's just, for me, it's the most amazing thing you can do in this game. And it's one of the main reasons I love playing this game, because you can actually make, obviously very impractical for any point of survival, but you can actually make mechanical systems, and you can really, you know, try mechanical systems out and see how they work. Alright, so we have a horrible turning radius. We don't have reverse gear. I went past the start point, so let's see if we can just... We should be able to just turn here. Sometimes you just gotta turn off the wheels and let the front wheels grip a bit. Of course, the wheels are all activated with a switch. Oh, we're gonna hit the tree. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, we can't push over a tree. We're screwed. Okay, well, let's just turn around now, I guess. Alright, so I've taken the original radial piston engine out of this car body here that I've copied, and the reason why is this one has the drive shaft attachment already coming out the back end of it, and I am going to upload this one to the workshop and replace the old radial piston engine that I have with this one, just because that drive shaft attachment on the one end is very useful, plus it has the fixed encoder position. And so what we're going to do, and I don't know how this is going to actually work, but I'm going to try and connect this engine here to this engine with a drive shaft, and the drive shaft point for this one is right here. And we're going to have them go in opposite directions on the same switch, and hopefully that will cause something. We're gonna oh boy, too much. Yeah, so you can see there, it has so much torque when it doesn't have anything attached to it. Okay, and then we'll drive shaft. We'll just make this out of a couple of pipe pieces, like so. Okay, and then connect this one to that. Perfect, and then weld this to that. Perfect. Okay, so this should be good to go. Oh boy. All right, perfect. Now, before we go, I think this radial engine here needs a nice new, you know, clean paint job. Let's just give it a nice blue paint job here. You know, make it nice and recognizable so everybody knows that it's a different engine. We're not gonna, you know, we won't paint all the details or anything like that, but there we go. Perfect. Okay, and then we're gonna connect. Both of these have just one single OR gate to start them right there in the middle. So we're gonna connect to this switch. Actually, you know what? Let's get a new switch entirely. Okay, and then this one is gonna go to you. And just to make sure we've got this right, so if I look here, you're gonna rotate counterclockwise, which is this way. And if I look here, you're gonna rotate counterclockwise. Yeah, so they're opposites. Perfect. Okay. And in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, the big one just kills it. There's like no question about it. Is that like 10 out of 10? There's 1, 2. Like, is that one? This one's just getting shoved backwards. Its pistons are just. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's 8 versus 4. You would figure that would happen. Let's just to confirm that this is truly what's happening, though. Let's do this. Let's connect you. Oh, let's keep you connected to you. Let's disconnect this one from here. Let's connect this one to here. Okay, and then let's turn this Yeah, I can barely push it static. Like, it's struggling to do it. It's doing it, but it's struggling to do it. 4 versus 8. And then as soon as we turn this... Oh, it actually... Hold on. Did it just jump start it in the wrong direction? Interesting. I mean, I guess that makes sense because now it's going on the opposite timing. But it is designed to go in the one direction. But anyways, guys, obviously you can see the torque test. It kind of proves the 8-cylinder engine is really dominant. But let me know what you guys think, obviously, down in the comments down below. But overall, a super powerful engine, awesome, fun to build. I really, really enjoy making piston-powered creations and piston-powered engines. They're really just a lot of fun, and to me, it's just one of the coolest things you can do in Scrap Mechanic. But let me know in the comments down below if you have any other piston-powered things you'd like me to build. Obviously, I have seen a comment many a times for a piston-powered tow truck. I think that would be pretty cool. Obviously, with piston-powered cars, they are designed for torque. And I don't think we would put something as crazy as this engine in it, but it's definitely, you know, a possibility. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Oh, okay, you're just freaking out there? Okay, let's just try this again. Yeah, every time. Every time. Interesting.